there was an allegation in the defendant's motion that somehow your current wife either was represented by an attorney by the name of Deborah Salisbury or was involved in a case that included Deborah Salisbury. My question to you is this. Back on September 14th, 2023, did you know who Deborah Salisbury was?
No, I did not.
Okay.
When did you first
Expected.
learn, if at all, when or who Deborah Salisbury is?
When something was filed by the defense attorneys.
Has attorney Deborah Salisbury ever represented you?
Never.
And to the best of your knowledge, has attorney Deborah Salisbury ever represented your current wife?
No, she has not.
She was very good. She was very nice and very, very, very courteous. Oh, when did you get married? Uh-oh.
On the spot.
Uh-oh.
Yes. I had it on the tattoo of a hip.
Of a hippo. Oh my God, he does have hippos on his shirts. Look at that. This family has a thing for hippos. That's weird. That's extraordinarily weird. But okay, everybody's got their thing. So his wife is hippo lover. He's got their wedding date tattooed on his arm. That's a good way to never forget it, because you can always go, oh, let me see, and pull it up. Clever thinking guy to have the wedding date tattooed on your arm.
On my arm, but it's covered.
Okay, he's thinking too long.
2016.
Okay. Have you ever been in any sort of proceeding where Deborah Salisbury was around, to your knowledge?
Never.
Oh, all right. So let's talk about Salisbury for a minute. Aside from it being one of the better TV dinners you can get, the Salisbury steak TV dinners are amongst the better ones you can get. But I mean, essentially, I think this part of the questioning was unnecessary because the affidavit that Salisbury submitted the other day, where she absolutely crushed Shapiro and the defense team by saying that under her responsibility as an officer of the court, she was duty bound. She was obligated to come forward and point out his intentional lies, that she had anything to do and any knowledge of these people, juror number one or his wife. She came out and said that she had the duty to come forward and demanded that the court understand that she fulfilled her duty to come forward and rat out the prosecution for their intentional misrepresentations, which we can just, as laymen call lies. Lawyers call them intentional, misinformations or intentional, mistake, things like that. Look, and see, that's the thing we talked about. You, as officers of the court, lawyers are absolutely prohibited from lying to judges. That's a quick way to sanctions, or worse. I mean, that can get into disciplinary problems that could affect your licensure. But also, if you, as a fellow lawyer, as a colleague lawyer, as someone else who is a sworn lawyer at the bar of this particular state, know that another lawyer is misrepresenting something to the judge intentionally, you have an absolute affirmative duty to rat that lawyer out. Otherwise, you can be found to have committed an ethical violation. In many, if not most states, you have a duty to rat out such behavior. And that's why I believe at the end of her affidavit, she asked the judge that I want you, in any order you give in this respect, to make it known that I fulfilled my obligation to come forward and point out these intentional misrepresentations. And that was so strong. And she, as a sworn officer of the court, came forward and did that. that I don't think that whole line of questioning about her and whether or not they knew them was necessary at all. The main point from her affidavit being that it is so easy to check. As she said, they could have picked up the phone and asked her if she had anything to do with these people or knew them. They didn't do that. They could very easily, as members of the bar, gone into the lawyer database and got her phone number and called her. They could also just as easily have taken the case number and checked the docket online to see if she was the attorney of record for them or anyone else. They didn't even do that basic fact check. They didn't even do that. I mean, on those grounds, I mean, I think she just absolutely crushed the defense. And I don't think they needed to do that, but the judge did. He went through the motions. He asked the questions, didn't ask anything more than he had to, and then he moved on.